It is Monday morning, March 24, 2025. Good morning and welcome to the first news bulletin right here on TV3. My name is Safwa Boahine. We come to you live from our studios at Adesawe Kande. We are also streaming live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. Now let's settle for the news now. Attorney General and Minister of Justice to update public on ongoing investigations to retrieve state funds under Operation Recover All Loot Oral. Also, illegal miners ambush forest guards injuring one at the Ofin Shelterbelt Forest Reserve in the Ashanti region. Also coming up, commercial motorcycle operators to wear uniforms and obtained special number plates. Plus, government commits more resources to support victims of recent fire outbreak at Adum Blue Light in the Ashanti region. We have details of these and many more coming up shortly. Please stay with us. Many thanks for joining us this morning. Let's settle for the details now. And the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, will today brief Ghanaians on ongoing investigations and efforts to retrieve public funds under the government's anti-corruption initiative Operation Recover All Loot Oral. Findings from the oral report chaired by Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa point to 36 cases involving an estimated $20.49 billion in potentially recoverable public funds. The minister is also expected to give details about the search in the residence of the ex-governor of the Bank of Ghana, Ernest Addison. We'll be bringing you more updates on that right here on TV3, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. But let's move away from that. And in a shocking incident on Sunday morning, a forest guard was attacked by illegal miners at the Ofin Shelterbelt Forest Reserve in the Ashanti region. The attack occurred when forestry officials from the Nkaria division were conducting routine monitoring in the reserve. The victim, 26-year-old Fuseini Sulemana, is now battling for his life following machete wounds he sustained during the attack. The Ofin Shelterbelt Reserve is one of the 9 forest reserves previously identified as being overrun by illegal miners. Although the government has claimed to have reclaimed 7 of these 9 reserves, including the Ofin Shelterbelt, this latest incident raises questions about the effectiveness of these efforts. Meanwhile, Abraham Isel, the Nkaria Forest District Manager, has been speaking about the latest incident and the threats of their lives.
The official Shelterbelt Forest Reserve has been under attack by illegal miners for some time now, and a lot of efforts have been made to reclaim the forest from illegal miners.
Right.
But the current situation suggests that the illegal miners are not ready to move out of the forest reserve. Efforts have been made to claim the forest reserve from illegal mining. In fact, we had military support where we were able to evacuate or arrest 15 excavators from a portion of the Ofin Shelterbelt Forest Reserve. That portion is called the Amiaputu portion. And indeed, since the movement of those excavators from the reserve, that portion has been calm. But there is another portion called the Apin Grove portion where the illegal miners have again invaded, and an effort to control them has been very difficult. This morning, we dispatched some men to the field to ascertain what is happening at that portion of the forest reserve. And on reaching an entrance to the forest reserve, we were met with a barricade that was manned by armed cats. There were like 4 of them, and so we thought our rapid response team of 3 teams could prevail over them, not knowing these cats were many and they had ambushed the area. And in an effort to control them, the victim suffered machete wounds. As we speak, he's at the Kumasi Teaching Hospital. An X-ray has been taken, and the doctors are assessing his situation.
Now let's still stay in the Ashanti region because the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council has instructed the current management of the Kumasi City Market to step aside following concerns raised by traders. The decision comes after leaders of the Traders Union petitioned the regional minister to intervene and address inefficiencies in the market's operations and management. Traders have long complained about poor management, which they claim has made trading conditions in the market increasingly difficult and uncomfortable.
For years, traders at the Kumasi City Market have faced persistent power outages due to mounting debt owed the Electricity Company of Ghana. Despite traders' insistence that they pay their monthly electricity bills to the market management, the facility is reportedly owing ECG over 2 million Ghana cedis. Repeated requests for individual meters to address the issue have gone unanswered.
We've raised several concerns that it would deem fit for each shop owner to get his or her meter. Of the 7,203 shops, the administration block on all other rooms within the facility are hooked to 1 meter.
In addition to the electricity crisis, traders have raised concerns about structural deficiencies within the market. They accuse the management of neglecting these issues and failing to take action to improve conditions.
We are of the view that there should be a total overhaul and a total reforms so that we can open a new page for us to get the maximum benefits that we are desiring from the market.
Following the petition, the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council has established an interim management committee to oversee the market's operations. A statement signed by the regional minister, Dr. Frank Amwakwene, indicated that the Regional Coordinating Council has received numerous petitions from traders and stakeholders regarding the management of the Kumasi City Market. To ensure a thorough investigation into the allegations, the current management has been asked to step aside and an interim management committee has been formed. The interim committee is expected to address the traders' grievances and ensure smoother operations at the markets whilst awaiting the appointment of a Kumasi mayor.
Now, Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loans Center, Maslok, Abigail Elon Mensah, has reiterated government's commitment to support victims of the recent fire outbreak at Adum Blue Light. She described the situation as very disheartening, but assured that the government, through Maslok and the Gender Ministry, will help rebuild their businesses.
Opportunity to condole with affected traders here. It is very disheartening to come and see what has happened here. But all we want to say is that government, Maslok, Gender Ministry together, we are not going to allow them go through this alone. Government will stand with them through it all. Government will make sure that how best we can support them, we are going to do it to support them. Once there is life, there is hope. Everything here is gone. But I believe that once they have their lives, we'll be able to support them to be able to build back whatever they have lost. So Maslok is standing with them in this period, and we are going to ensure that we support them how best we can.
Now, away from the Ashanti region and the Adum fire outbreak, commercial motorcycles operators or Okada riders will be given special number plates and also be required to wear uniforms as part of the broader plan to legalize the Okada business. Speaking on TV3's Hot Issues, Acting Director of the National Road Safety Authority, Abraham Amaleba, said owners of motorbikes would also be registered.
Those conditions will be fixed when they are legalized and when these cooperatives come up. How do we identify who is engaged in criminality? There is a database of all Okada riders and owners of the vehicles. You can be an owner stroke rider, but most of the time, the riders are not the owners. So it is easy if we also register the owners. Now, if you engage in criminal acts, and don't forget, we're also going to provide them with speed limits. There will be gadgets in their motors which would stop them from overspeeding. Then also, there will be a tracker in each motorbike. So as you move, wherever your motorbike is going, there is computer watching you and your movement, and all this will be captured. So the fear that you are on a motorbike, it will be used to kidnap you, will no longer be there, because we can easily fish out those people.
And we are still watching TV3's morning news right here on TV3 and also streaming live on Facebook. Let's do some more stories now. And monitoring by Send Ghana under the Fair for All project in cocoa growing areas has revealed that cocoa licensed buying companies are showing compliance by paying premiums to cocoa farmers. However, infrastructure development remains poor in cocoa growing communities.
Level stakeholder dialogue held in Accra focused on the human rights, living income, environmental due diligence, and gender performance of cocoa companies operating in Ghana, involving government, industry, civil society, and farmers. The major findings indicate that licensing buying companies in cocoa growing areas are showing compliance to human rights issues. At the same time, the weighing scale fraud has declined. However, development remains poor in cocoa growing areas. Lead for the Fair for All project, Joseph Ochere, said licensing buying companies could do more to improve the lives of cocoa farmers.
Send Ghana sought to see how these companies are performing and assess that performance. And we did that through a consultant. So what we did today was that we just presented to key stakeholders in the value chain the findings that came out from the research, and then we sought to have a dialogue with the key stakeholders along the gaps that were identified, and then recommendations going forward.
The professor of resource and environment economics, Kwabena Asomeni Anaman, recommended tighter monitoring regime to prevent fraud in this sector.
The major recommendation from our study is that the weighing scale fraud, we found that it has significantly dropped according to the perception of the cocoa farmers. And I think Cocoa Board and the Standard Board, they should continue what they are doing in terms of regular monitoring. So this is an area that they really seem to have done a good job. And they can also partner with the license buying agencies to help the overall improvement of the infrastructure.
Well, in the spirit of celebrating Ghana Month, we do well to bring you some special stories specifically for the Ghana Month. And remember the good old days when children would spend hours playing outside, laughing and shouting with friends and creating their own games as they imagined them. For some Ghanaians, those carefree days of childhood are a distant memory. Erica Juma Crunchy examines the evolution of children's games and playtime.
In the past, streets were filled with the laughter of children playing traditional games like Ampe, Oware, Antwechi, Hwehwɛmuyi Wompena, and Chaskili. There were periods where stories were told for entertainment. However, with the advent of technology and the rise of digital games, the way children play has undergone a significant transformation. The news team visited the Nima 1 cluster of schools where some children shared games they play during their break time.
I play bottle flip, I play shooting games, I play running games, I play footballs.
Bottle flip, you need bottle and you put water inside and you cover it. When you play it, when the thing turn, when the thing straight, because you have win. When the second one to turn it into you have win. Some
adults are of the view that games they played as children had positive impacts on their lives. Lucy shared her experience as a child.
There were a number of games and stories we used to hear that had life lessons to learn from. I loved Hwehwɛmuyi Wompena because it helped us select our life partners.
pa eye hwehwem koyumpena because of hwehwe koyumpena no na amanfo nya ho select omukununum daache.
These games were not only popular in the southern part of the country. Hajia, a trader at Nima, mentioned that people of the north play in the form of singing and dancing.
Yes, Allah, 1 year, bia, ne kotokoli for.
The people of Kotokoli have a culture of dancing and singing after the Eid celebration.
Yes, sir. No, you gong. A few way,
In the end, playtime is not just about the games we play, but about the memories we create and the relationships we build. Erica Juma Kranche, TV3 News.
The good old days indeed. But let's still move on. A lot more people continue to fall victim to cybercrime despite efforts to enhance online security. Recent incidents have highlighted the urgent need for enhanced cybersecurity measures. Aisha Yakubu Khalid has more in the following report.
On March 17, 2025, the country woke up to news that the personal X account of President John Dramani Mahama had been compromised, promoting a cryptocurrency by the name Solana Africa. For 48 hours, these unscrupulous individuals literally held the president's account hostage. The incident did not only expose weakness in the president's social media management security, but also evidence of how no one is safe.
Even the most robust systems have issues when it comes to their security. You can never have a system that is 100% secure. So there will be lapses. But we see this as a clarion call to individuals, to even the staffers who are in charge of these kind of accounts, to do more when it comes to protecting these accounts that we are working with.
The country's increasing internet penetration has been diluted by a surge in cyber-related crimes. The nation currently ranks 2nd in Africa and 7th globally in online-related crimes. In the first half of 2023 alone, the country recorded direct financial losses amounting to 49.5 million Ghana cedis due to cyber fraud activities. These numbers only represent reported cases. The actual figures could be much higher. The impact of cybercrime is deeply personal, affecting individuals' daily lives.
I was added to a group, okay, that was prior to the hacking. A few days after being added, I was hacked. What happened was that I was called. I picked the call, and then the person at the back end informed me that so the group I had joined, they were going to have a meeting, more like a Zoom meeting. So, but he was going to send me a code. So that was why I dropped the call from him and realized that something went wrong. So opening my WhatsApp there and then I realized I was off. I didn't have WhatsApp again. He was reaching out to my friends, my business associates, my siblings and all that, trying to acquire some money from them.
I decided to order for a ride. When I initiated the process, all of a sudden, the interface that came, it kept buffering. A call came through. And then when I picked the phone, then there was this voice speaking to me at the other side of the phone that he is calling from Bolt, and so I should hold on. After the call, the Bolt is going to send me a code to input so that it will rectify the buffering. I inputted the code into the system, and then it picked. The interface, everything was okay for me to order my ride, not knowing it was a work of a scammer. These scammers took charge of my account and they were ordering rides in my account.
The new unique trends of cyber fraud underscore the evolving tactics used by fraudsters to take advantage of digital financial systems.
One of the basic things when it comes to these account takeovers is the fact that multi-factor authentication hasn't been enabled on the devices. So that's the first step we can take as individuals to protect ourselves. Always make sure that your multi-factor authentication has been done. And so once the attacker is able to get through the first phase, you will still have to provide a second form of identification or verification to prevent them from moving on to the second phase.
Mobile money fraud is also a significant part of cybercrime in Ghana, with over 6.81 billion transactions that involved a value of 1.92 trillion cedis in 2023. According to the Bank of Ghana, the mobile money service space is a juicy target for cyber fraudsters.
If a customer is frauded from Telezel platform and the fund has been transferred onto MTN, Telezel cannot enter into MTN and then lift that money. So the whole system just appears that it enables the fraudster and even getting information to be able to, track these processes down. It comes with a lot of difficulties, and day in, day out, people are falling victim to fraud.
The government has made strides in cybersecurity, achieving a score of 86.69% in recent assessments, ranking third in Africa. However, the increasing incidents call for attention to the need for continuous vigilance and public awareness.
You could have the processes aspect and then the technology aspect actually firm and grounded. But if there's a lapse in the people bit, then there becomes an issue. So we look at awareness creation. And then when you come to a lapse in technology, you're looking at making sure that your systems are up to date and some vulnerabilities that can be easily exploited by criminals are taken care of.
As Ghana embraces digital transformation, the fight against cybercrime has become ever more critical. It requires a collective effort from authorities and citizens alike to safeguard Ghana's digital future. Aisha Yakubu Khalid, TV3 News.
Away from that, Energy Minister John Jonapor is urging Guineans to support the cylinder recirculation model CRM amidst a decline in LPG consumption and a rise in wood fuel use. The model aims to increase access to clean cooking and environmentally friendly LPG by 2030.
Between 2021 and 2022, because LPG prices increased by over 80%, the consumption of LPG declined by about 12%. And then the consumption of wood fuels also increased astronomically. And so it's not just an economic burden, it's also a health issue, it's also an environmental issue. And so it's something that we have to take cognizance of, especially how we can ensure that we have affordable LPG consumption and deployment. I know that the MPA is working aggressively to expand the cylinder recirculation model. And I think that it's something that all of us must support.
Still on the issue of clean cooking, between 50 to 75% of Guineans lack access to clean cooking fuels. This poses severe health risks to especially women and children, according to estimates by the International Energy Agency, to facilitate a future of clean cooking in Ghana. The Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has convened stakeholders for an open dialogue to discuss sustainable solutions for a successful implementation of Ghana's clean cooking policy, which is being developed. Ikuya Ofiriwa Dakon has more in this report.
In Ghana, the World Bank estimates that 16,000 people die prematurely from air pollution every year, with lack of access to clean cooking being a major contributing factor. The 2022 Ghana Demographic and Health Survey revealed that only about 23% of households use clean fuel and technologies for cooking, while 87% of households continue to use solid fuels like wood and charcoal for cooking. The drafting of the clean cooking policy by the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition seeks to play a vital role in achieving Ghana's sustainable development goals and improving the lives of its citizens.
The need to accelerate the adoption of clean cooking solutions in Ghana has never been more urgent. Traditional cooking methods continue to pose serious health risks, contribute to deforestation, and impact climate change.
The use of improved biomass cook stoves and alternative fuels like LPG is actively being promoted to enhance energy access, sustainable development, and climate goals.
Begin implementation of a standards and labeling scheme for the improved biomass cook stoves this November 2025. The National Clean Cooking Policy and Strategy will further elevate clean cooking as a priority sector for government.
The Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Jinapo, said that by engaging and developing a comprehensive policy framework, the government hopes to create a safer, healthier and a more sustainable environment for all Ghanaians.
As part of our green transition drive and through the Renewable Energy Investments and Green Transition Fund, we'll launch an aggressive policy to deploy cook stoves and clean cooking technology and infrastructure so that a lot more Ghanaians would have access to clean cooking.
Key stakeholders at the National Stakeholder Engagement on Clean Cooking discussed and shared innovative solutions for promoting clean cooking and improving public health outcomes. Ekuya Ofreyuwa Dako, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's bring you a last story now. Then Black Stars head coach Okada has hinted at making possible changes ahead of the game against Madagascar. The Black Stars deployed an offensive formation against Chad, beating them 5-0. But the gaffer believes Madagascar is a totally different opponent.
And want to put pressure on them, and that's why we start with 2 offensive midfielders. And looking forward, it depends always on the opponents, like what solution they give us. What strength and what weaknesses they have. So we study always our opponents. It was very difficult because they had a lot of new players coming in, and it was really tough for us to get information. A lot of them are playing together in the team and know each other and chat. So, but I think we did well, and I'm very happy that things worked out, and the way we scored the goals, we're very happy. Yeah, we had a good start. This was important, and I think from there it was easier for us to play them out.
Oh, we wish the Black Stars all the very best as they play today against Madagascar, 7 p.m. You can make time and watch and support to bring back the love. But that'll be all for the morning news right here on TV3. Many thanks for joining us this morning. New Day continues right after the breather. My name is Safwa Boane. Do have a lovely week.